everyone, I am Varsha and you are watching the series of success stories brought to you by Indian Achievers Forum. As you all know, the series is all about the prominent achievers of our country who has made India proud in some way or the other. The main focus of our series is to make you all know about the achievements and success of our prominent guests. So today we have with us Mr. Sumit Kumar, who is the founder and CEO of Newlearn. But before we actually move ahead in the conversation with him, let's have a look at a very small video which will tell you about what we actually do.
Indian Achievers Forum is driven by a full-fledged advisory board. The board consists of experienced personalities who have excelled in their respective careers. Together, the forum organizes conferences, events, workshops, exhibitions, trade shows and B2B initiatives in India as well as abroad. Where there is passion, there is achievement. And where there is achievement, there is Indian Achievers Forum.
Hello, Mr. Sumit, how are you?
Thank you, Varsha, for having me here. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Okay, pleasure is ours, sir. Okay, so before moving ahead, please tell us something about you and also if you could tell us, how did this idea of starting up with Newlearn came into your mind?
Sure. Although you have already introduced me to the audience, so I'm Sumit Kumar, founder and Chief Executive Officer of Newlearn. We're an edtech organization, started our operations in 2017. It's been 3 years. It has been a roller coaster ride for us. So I strongly believe that you may succeed largely by accident. And that's what happened to us as talk about Newlearn journey. We didn't start out in the education sector when I left my corporate job after 17 years of working with some of the top-notch organizations of the country. But I think it's through a combination of timing and luck that we ended up in an edtech space. We started working with some of the top-notch institutions of the country. And today we are proud to share that we are working with 7 institutes in the country and having presence in India as well as recently started expanding operations in outside the country as well. We are a team of around 30 odd people, with a combination of sales, marketing, customer support and other functions to support the business. And that's how the journey so far, Varsha, the last 3 years.
Okay, so Mr. Sumit, how is this Newlearn, different from other online educational providers in the market?
Varsha, I am when it comes to competition, I generally do not compare our organization with an organization on the product or service side of it. I think it's more of the culture that differentiates us from the other organization. A healthy company culture, as you know, that provides an environment that supports stronger recruiting practices, retention. You're increasing the customer intimacy and loyalty, and hence if you sum up all these things, then you have a very good productivity and an increased sense of employee satisfaction. I think, and it also has a strong impact on the bottom line as well. So my focus has always been on bringing the best people on board, grooming them, giving them space to perform. And that's how my people differentiate, Newlearn from with other organizations, not the product and services, because although all the courses or the services that we offer are similar to what other companies are offering, but largely I think more than we talk about sales practices or customer support or any other factor, I think I should give culture more priority than the other aspects.
Amazing, Mr. Sumit. Okay, so what are the recent developments that you would like to share with our audience?
So, as I mentioned, that it's been 3 years. We've been doing a lot of short duration programs with IIMs, SPJMR. We have done program with MDI, IMT Ghaziabad as well. In the recent past, we signed up a contract with Indian Institute of Management, Raipur, for one of the flagship program that they've launched, which is an executive MBA for working professional. This is the first time that Newlearn is entering into a foray of long-term programs. This is a 2-year long program wherein people can earn a degree without even visiting any center or an institute. And that's how, with the digital education coming in place, I think this is one of the initiative that government is also taking, as I strongly believe about Atmanirbhar Bharat. So we feel that having this kind of initiative coming under the belt of Newlearn, I think this is one of the achievement that recently that we have been able to crack. Otherwise, organization is looking at expanding into different countries other than India, as I mentioned before. So UAE, we are setting up our own office in the month of January next year. We are also eyeing for getting our operations set up in the western side of Africa. And that's how the expansion will happen. New courses, new institutes, new countries to explore, and maybe we have something signing up with the international universities in the plan to come. So not sure about that at this point of time, though.
Okay, so Mr. Sumit, what are the factors that determine your growth as a bootstrapped organization?
Um, See, the question of whether we should run a bootstrap startup or raising a venture fund from it is a more difficult decision one has to take when you are aspiring to become an entrepreneur, in the industry. And I also, obviously, when I was starting it up, this was one of the challenge that I had, that whether to look out for a funding from outside, since I had a good plan in place, or I should start something on my own. I think some of the factors that really helped me in terms of achieving and putting things in place. One very important, that I used to evaluate every expense carefully, even spending a single penny on utilities or other aspects. I think this was one of the factor that helped us in supporting my decision of getting the business on bootstrap mode. Limiting the overhead by using a co-working space. So I didn't rush for getting my own office initially. Rather, we prefer to have something which we can share, pay less amount, and also become an ecosystem where it's more of a give and take. You help other people, and you also take help from other freelancers and startup owners. And last but not the least, I was really good at recruiting people. Since my background is, I've spent around 17 years in HR, so it was not difficult for me to hire best people for the organization. And as I always believe that when you treat employees and entrepreneurs, I think success is bound to happen. So that's what these are some of the factors that helped me in setting up the bootstrap business.
Okay, amazing, sir. Okay, so Mr. Sumit, a lot has been talked about being vocal for local in this pandemic period. So, what are your views on it? And also, if you could tell us about how is your organization working towards it?
See, as you know that we are into the e-learning space. Initially, few months after the lockdown was announced, March and April was tough time for us setting up things for my employees, since it was new for everyone to a new normal now. But I think March and April was those 2 months were really tough for an organization and for employees as well. We were able to support each other. So I would not say that I only supported my people. Even in return, people also supported me. We were able to set up everything from home, giving all the tools and practices to people so that they can perform sitting at home. So that was something immediately. Once the lockdown was announced, we had to get into it. Second, coming back after 4 months of lockdown, coming back to work, I think we were able to set up good practices at workplace. Whether you call about social distancing or different parameters as described by the government of India. I think team supported us, and good that we are back on track. March and April were tough time for us, but I think May onwards we started getting the traction from the market. Since everybody realized that e-learning is going to be the future, people were not allowed to visit the institutes. So not much difficulty as far as the business is concerned. But yes, I could see a lot of people losing jobs outside in the market. I really feel bad for them. But that's how the market is, and really can't help it. But with respect to the education space, I think it's a good time now, especially for the online space.
Okay, so now please tell us something about the CSR policies of Newlearn and like how is the brand contributing towards the social cause?
So right time you asked this question, we are in the process of setting up Newlearn Foundation as one of the initiative that we are setting it up. We're in the process of registering Newlearn Foundation to help the society. Since we are an education technology company, so our focus will be to support people in the rural areas, especially students who can't afford the education at this pace. And we all know, even Atmanirbhar Bharat mission also talks about. I think time has come to give back to the society, help people in terms of adapting to new technologies, new techniques, providing them opportunities to learn something, which from their respective places without even visiting the centers or the institutes, because cost is one of the factors that I feel especially people in the rural areas are facing. So I'm sure we would be happy to announce this once we get onto the registration and start delivering our agenda, and then I think this is going to be a game changer. That's what we believe. It's just not about a CSR or any other plan. It's about society has been giving you a lot, right? And the time has come that you also have to give something back to them.
Absolutely, very true, sir. Okay, so now I was literally, waiting to put forward this question to you, and that is, what are your feelings on winning this Indian Achievers Award?
Thank you, IF India, for this award. I think I must say it's a good platform to, the way you are appreciating the forum, recognizing the achievements of organizations or the entrepreneurs in the country. I think it was really, I was really happy to receive the award, and I I am thankful to you and the management for such an initiative that you've been doing for last couple of years. I think good job done.
Okay, so what mantra or message you would like to give to our audience who are watching us today?
Although audience can check out a lot of things on YouTube, and Google will be able to help them out, but since there are a lot of ideas and suggestions you end up getting from people. But I strongly believe in two things. If you're aspiring to become an entrepreneur or starting off something, I would not even call entrepreneur you anything which you want to change, or you adapting to a new way of looking at the business or your job. I think don't be afraid to fail, and be true to yourself. I think these two things, if you are focused and if you follow these two in the beginning, with the time you may have to adapt different practices and different strategies. But I think when you are looking at moving from one place or transitioning from one position to another position, I think let's not be afraid to fail, and be true to yourself. I think these two will surely help.
Amazing, sir. Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Sumit, for being with us today. It was lovely talking to you, and I wish you all the very best for all your future projects, and may you continue to inspire us the way you are doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Varsha, for having me here and giving your time, precious time to me. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.